Hello, everybody. I've just got a little piece that I've written out today, and I'm going to read basically what it is. So it'll be just as long as it takes to sort of read it, really. See if I can keep up with reading it as well, because I'm never too good at reading stuff. Right, the fears pushed about vegan diets explained. There are numerous fear-mongering articles around at present about vegan diets. And yes, I really do mean fear. They go in all manner of ludicrous details of difficulty, made-up illnesses even. And of course, the general public uninformed reading them is yet again bamboozled and outright lied to, which is downright perfect for a food industry that wants to push thousands of unhealthy food products. They speak of food as though there is no health implications, except when coming to a vegan diet, when there actually is more scientific consensus about food items than there has ever been. And those facts are damning of the regular diet that includes meat, fish, dairy and eggs. Animals. A vegan diet should be planned, as they always say, adding another barrier to a general public with next to no knowledge of nutrition. So, seeing as a majority of the population is already deficient of numerous nutrients, ask yourself why they are not fear-mongered too as well. Particularly when the vegan diet, scientifically measured and verified, is the most healthy diet on every non-biased scientific investigation. In fact, the latest studies have found that people on vegan diets are the least deficient of nutrients of all diets, due in part to the fear-mongering that has meant anyone coming to the diet do investigate it more. Think also how you have learned anything about nutrition. It has not been at schools, where it most definitely should be, though then again maybe not, because as with everything other than basic science and physics, English and maths, there is manipulation by controlled learning, by propaganda. The basic of the vegan diet initially needs no thought about nutrients to just stop consuming anything from animals, and that includes fish, because many people's perception of that fish are not animals, even though they are. Many processed vegan foods include vitamins that are thought to be lacking. Yet even those processed foods are not needed if you know the specific whole foods that contain them. The two vitamins that vegan diet could miss if not obtained specifically are B12 and omega-3s. The first is in mushrooms grown outdoors or indoors, or if indoors, as most are now, being subject to ultraviolet light. That vitamin is also already added to some cereals and plant milks, some mineral waters and fortified tofu. Omegas are in seaweed and algae, chia seeds, hemp seeds, flax seeds, walnuts, endami, kidney beans, soy oil, and many other items as well, many other foods as well. The Vegan Society has more detail about these these nutrients. Yet the general public know little or none, and so miss vitamins that are part responsible for many of the general population's illnesses, along with the known other food-caused illnesses. People will not get sufficient nutrition information from their doctor, nor even very many specialist nutritionists. Doctors, because their education is about the drugs they prescribe and what illness looks like in patients. Their nutrition training is a day or less in 3 to 5 years of training, unless they've obtained additional training on nutrition after their medical training. And there are a few doctors that do find out more about nutrition, but the vast majority do not, so they only rely on just the 1 day or less of training that they were given during their medical education. Nutritionists, for the most part, being meat eaters themselves, although finding out many health issues around foods themselves, tend to look at animal farmed industry research that conveniently contradicts the non-biased science, and nutritionists believe this because animal farming industry funds many more reports and target them at nutritionists, sending those reports directly to them instead of having so that nutritionists do not have to look up the science. So in conclusion, a vegan diet does not lack anything other than the corpse of an animal that never wanted to die. The World Health Organization, as well as dietitian organizations in all countries have them, ours is part of the NHS, all state that a well-planned vegan diet is safe and suitable for all stages of life, including pregnancy and infancy. The above are those organizations are far from even are not even vegan organizations. They have come to the acceptance of those statements after the most detailed investigations on the vegan diet of any diet in history, because the diet has been attacked and obstructed ever since its inception. The diet is no more difficult than whatever your present diet is. In fact, less so once regularly doing it. Although I have used vegan to describe the diet in what I've been saying here, vegan as the word by itself is to do the least harm to any sentient life. So that includes entertainment that uses animals and items that you wear that are animal based or anything like that. And of course anything made with those animals. Now I've made some basic statements there. The backup to have a look at any information that you may want to look up is right there with the Vegan Society itself. Just look up search the Vegan Society on Google and it will come up there, and just look at their nutrition information, and that will explain basically what I've explained here. Another organisation that would be useful for anybody is nutritionfacts.org. They are free web-based organisation, and they are free to access, and there you can actually read the scientific papers that they reference to make their statements on their site about foods. You can basically put in a search to do with any types of illnesses on the nutritionfacts.org, and the information about the nutrition that affects those illnesses is all there. I went into quite a bit of detail on that, trying to see whether I've missed anything at all. But yeah, that's basically what it is. I mean, what I've seen recently have been many wrong reports that have been made in newspapers, and even the odd TV reports that have some have actually outright said that the vegan diet is not healthy. They have actually said it is not healthy. And some have said that it will make you ill. And this is total nonsense. Every diet is not perfect. The vegan diet is not perfect, but it's by far better than any of the other diets. It is the one that has been researched by far more often, and mostly by the farming industry itself, that even their reports, when they've made them, although they've done everything to sort of bias it towards their meat industries, has still in parts pointed out that vegan, there is a benefit on the vegan side to it. And of course the actual non-biased reports fully explain and show that the vegan diet is safe and more desirable. PubMed list all the medical organisations that have made the statements that a vegan diet is perfectly healthy for all stages of life. So you have to wonder why farming industries, why government actually prevent some of the information getting out. It's there in their own official documents, but they know for a fact that the majority of people will never look at those official documents. And even when we put this information out to people, a majority of people will still not listen to what we put out and what we say. The fact is, there is no reason for us to be producing 70 billion animals that we do not have any need for at all. Nobody has any need for. Constantly you get people saying, oh, I couldn't live without meat, or something like it, or whatever, milk or whatever, cheese. They couldn't live without. They can. Every single person can. It's just whether they want to. That is all it is. And then They are making a choice. They are making a choice to do harm to animals. A choice to harm animals. Not acceptable. Vegans are not harming anybody. We do not want to harm anybody. We just want the information available to the whole public. The information is there. You only have to look up at least those 2 sites that I've mentioned in what I've said here today. That's just 2. There are numerous more, and just by going to those sites you will find numerous other avenues of proof. In particular on nutritionfacts.org, the actual scientific papers that show the benefits, that show that the public are being harmed by consuming animals. This has always been so, but it's only been over the last 100 years or so that actual scientific evidence has proved beyond doubt that eating animals is more unhealthy for us than just eating plants. Do look it up. I did this partly on just one news report that came up in the Times newspaper just this week, and this was to do with a private school down south that has introduced blood tests only for vegans that come to their school. This is a girls' school. They have introduced the blood tests because they do not believe the vegan diet is safe. Well, I'm pretty certain that once they start getting those results from those blood tests back, they are going to be proved far, far wrong. And I believe that what they should be doing is doing blood tests for all pupils, not just the vegans. Because of once they get those results back and show those results, they should be changing their actual kitchens, their what they allow as food on their menus. And this is a school. This private school is one that actually produces many of our leading females, the politicians, some celebrities. It's not good when they sort of make this as though it's because a vegan diet is bad, when it is not. So I just had to sort of say something more about this, and that was part of it. That's what sort of made me sort of come out with what I've said here tonight. Anyway, I'll leave you to that. It's getting a bit long. I know sometimes when I go on a bit, it means you don't see the whole video, so I'll stop it right here. Thank you for listening. Speak to you again soon.